As many of my friends know, I've just returned from a trip to Zambia with African Vision of Hope. This is an organization that has meant a lot to me for a few years now, and they're focused on ending extreme poverty by empowering children through Christ-centered education and so much more. I've returned with an intense feeling of responsibility to tell their stories and connect them with people who want to love them, empower them, pray for them, and help play a role in changing their lives. I want to give you a heads up that you're going to be seeing a lot of me, and I hope that I don't become an annoying presence in your timeline, but just see this as an indication of my belief in what God is doing through African Vision of Hope in Zambia to end suffering and spread love and hope. I know that I have friends with the best hearts, and you may already be sponsoring children and of course giving to your community and your church, and you believe in taking action, and it may not be on your heart to sponsor a child through African Vision of Hope, but I just ask you to do two things. One, watch this video, and two, share this post, because I know that someone out there will see the face of these children, hear their stories, and want to love them and be the person that changes their life. I want to introduce you to Beauty Malama. I met Beauty while I was there in Zambia, and she is a shy, smart, and sweet girl who loves to read.
My name is Beauty Malama. I am 14 years old.
14 years old. What's your favorite subject in school?
English.
English. That is good.
We actually sponsor Beauty's older sister, Hope. Hope and Beauty's parents divorced when they were young. Their father rejected them and hasn't played a role in their life. Their mom eventually became abusive, and she's become a drunkard. And in fact, while I was there, Hope was ashamed of her short hair. They had to cut her hair because her mom had hit her over the head and opened a wound in her head. Beauty is actually now living with her aunt, and Hope is moving to African Vision of Hope rescue housing. Beauty lives and goes to school in Chongwe, which is a rural part of Zambia. If any of you know my mom, Barbara, she actually sponsors Jonathan, who goes to school with Hope and Beauty there in Chongwe, so just a little bit of a connection there. To give you a sense of what Beauty is facing, Chongwe has a high rate of teen pregnancy and also child trafficking and prostitution. So Beauty's vulnerable in this way. Also, it is very common for families to marry off young girls in order to help take care of the family. In many cases, the only source of support system or love that these children have are through their African Vision of Hope child protection officers and their teachers. These are some of the most Christ-like and fearless people that I've ever met. They'll go in and interrupt a wedding to a child bride, walk for hours to deliver rice to families who need it, counsel young women who've had to sell themselves in order to eat. They really give every moment of their life in service so that others don't suffer. For those of you not familiar with Zambia, over 50% of the population is made up of children 15 and younger because AIDS has wiped out my generation. This means that there's a lot of child labor, a lot of child abuse, and being an uneducated female means really just a life of suffering. I've met and felt the intense hugs of grandmothers who are really struggling to raise 14 of their grandchildren because all of their children have passed away from AIDS. So how does sponsorship work? Basically, 100% of your $37 a month goes to the child that you sponsor. This goes towards a Christ-centered education, nutritious food, clean water, healthcare, leadership training, regular monitoring and check-ins, and of course, an introduction to the love of Christ and a relationship of love and encouragement through you, their sponsor. You can have a direct relationship with your child through the sponsorship portal. Here you can send letters and pictures, receive letters, pictures, updates of your child. And as a sponsor, I can tell you that I know exactly what is going on in the lives of the children that we sponsor. They know me. It is a special relationship. One thing that I think is really important to communicate is that when you are sponsoring one child, you are not changing just one life. You are changing entire families and communities. I've not met one student or young adult with African Vision of Hope who is not focused on giving back to their family, helping to support their family, serving in their community, becoming leaders. In many cases, these kids have faced trauma in nearly every dimension of their life, and they persevere through setback after setback and still strive to live like Christ and give to others. I honestly don't know if I have that same perseverance in me as I've seen in these children. Lastly, if this message hasn't come through yet, I just want to vouch for this organization. I consider the leaders of African Vision of Hope to be my friends and close mentors. While I was in Zambia, I got to meet some of the leaders of Feed the Hungry, and one thing that they had to say about African Vision of Hope is that it is one of the most well-run and effective organizations they've ever had the chance to partner with. Well, if you've made it this far, I really thank you for your time. If you're a person who has ever wondered if you're having a positive impact on this world or your purpose, I want to tell you that this organization and this relationship that you can build with this child is an incredible blessing. I just encourage you to share this post with others. Click through the links, find a child that speaks to your heart that you would like to build a relationship with, or rush a small donation to African Vision of Hope. It will really go a long way. Thank you so much.